Hello, 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 beautiful people, and welcome back. We are going to be talking about something that has been really heavy on my heart, but something that I also think may be helpful for a lot of us who are navigating this time of year. So, welcome. If this is the first time that you're joining us live, welcome. My name is Leah Murphy. I'm the CEO of Career Gems for the Journey, where we help talented professionals build thriving careers. And if you've been riding with us for a while and you're one of our OGs, here on the live. I appreciate you for joining us. I am excited for that. Welcome back. So, if you're here with us live, you know how it goes. Please do drop your city in the chat. We are going to be with you only for a little while, right? Where this time of the year tends to be an intense, very busy season, and I want to be mindful of all of the obligations and things you may be navigating. And I also want to make sure that you understand that our time together is valuable, and I want to make sure that it feels that way. So I wanted to just to go over just this idea of the holiday season and what it can bring, the impact that it could potentially have on mental health and your career as you're navigating this time of the year, because it comes with a lot of obligations. And obligations can be a complicated word depending on who you're asking, but sometimes we need to reevaluate those obligations and just say them out loud, just to acknowledge that there is something that we are feeling that may be on our shoulder, and we need to think about how we support ourselves in that time. So hopefully you guys are enjoying. I'm giving First Lady is the look that I was going for today. You guys let me know if I nailed it on the First Lady look with the accessories. Just over here trying to have a good time and get through this season and this time of the year. So oftentimes the holiday season can trigger a tremendous amount of stress. And when I say holiday season, I'm saying everything from early November all the way through to the beginning of the year. And it can trigger a lot of stress because there's a lot of emotional responsibility that comes along with being perceived as ready for the holidays, or being perceived as celebratory during the holidays. Or if we think about the personal pressure that comes along with family expectations, maybe. There's some grief. There may be some loss. There may be some relationship challenges that are amplified during this time of the year, all while you're still expected to be at work and you're still expected to join the holiday party or whatever activity or bring a gift, give a gift, whatever it is that maybe your manager or your broader organization sets up as an expectation for you while you're managing all of these other thoughts, feelings, needs that you personally are trying to work through. And oftentimes it just goes under acknowledged and goes under mentioned. And I feel like every year I want to remind myself that I have the flexibility to do something different or to support my own needs. And I wanted to give you that permission too. So sometimes there's just work pressures that also go along with the end of the year. There's deadlines, there's years close, there's quarter close, there's performance reviews, there's pressure to finish strong, all of the things that we may be hearing. And all of those things are interrupting what may be your normal routine. You may have a system, a rhythm that you feel really comfortable with most of the year. And then this end of the year with new expectations or piled on expectations or intensity to be able to make time for all kinds of additional things may be weighing on you. And I just want to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge that it's weighing on you, and that if you're feeling heavier this time of year, you are not alone. There's all kinds of environmental pressures. And oftentimes, let's say the quiet part out loud, holiday magic is often created by the invisible labor of women, parents, caregivers. And because that invisible labor is on top of what you're already obligated and responsible for, that layers on even thicker. And the fact that you may be feeling like, oh, I just want to get to the other side of the holidays doesn't make you wrong. It makes you maybe more aware of what's happening around you in this season of your life. So, this is your reminder that every season of your life, you're allowed to show up in the way that makes sense for you. And if that means that you don't go into the office on the day of the holiday party because you just can't manage one more obligation, if that means that you have to give yourself more flexibility when you're thinking about gift giving and celebration, that's okay too. And I think not only is it okay, I think you may be opening a door for other people who are around you who also say, man, that just doesn't work for me. Or maybe you show up to the holiday event, you show up to the party, you're there for the first 30 minutes, and then you make a strategic exit. So if you're trying to figure out a way to hit a middle ground, because there are social expectations that come along with this time of year, maybe you create a strategy for yourself where you are not fulfilling the full hours and hours of obligation that may go along with the way your office or the way your organization, even if you're navigating a remote work environment, maybe there's expectations. And your idea is, I'm going to give a commitment of 30 to 45 minutes to the event, and then I'm going to dip. I'm going to make my way out of there and I'm going to do something else. I'm going to recharge my battery. Especially for those who are introverts this time of year, it can be extremely hard to figure out, how do I recharge in between all of the obligatory events, smiles, words that are repetitive, and asking about holiday plans. I actually want to take a minute here to just change gears and really speak to employers, managers, people leaders, to think about the broad range of feelings and thoughts of emotions that people may be navigating during this time of the year. And as you're thinking about them, navigate it on more of a middle ground. Navigate it on more of a, if we're open, we will be more flexible in the way that we choose this time of year to celebrate. Maybe we do not have an obligatory holiday party this year. Maybe that's something that we alternate. Maybe you send a note and everybody is optional for said event, and you reinforce that participation in the event is optional. Because oftentimes, even as managers and leaders of people, we may have mixed feelings about participating in large events or holiday celebrations this time of the year. People are managing a lot. There's a lot of pressure on the economy. There's a lot of pressure on people's health and overall well-being. There are a lot of people who are out of work or are managing transitions, work transitions. So if you are someone who is in a decision-making position and you can think about supporting the people who are in the office or the people who are still a part of the organization, but giving them the flexibility to do what they need to do to meet their needs, it would actually buy you so much more credibility for you being a truly inclusive leader. Because if their spouse or significant other or their child or their parent or their loved one or their friend, or if something is compromised in the background and they don't want to share it publicly, they don't want to bring all of their personal life into work, but you open the door to give them a chance to do what's in their best interest. And maybe that means not going to the party. Maybe that means not participating in the gift exchange. Maybe that means not using the entire team meeting to ask about holiday plans, or not using the entire team meeting to go through a white elephant gift exchange. Whatever those things are, you have an opportunity right now to truly be inclusive in the way that you navigate this time of the year. And I'm certain that there's an employee that would really appreciate it. Now, there's going to be somebody who jumps in and says, but what if we love it? What if we really enjoy the holiday? What if we want to wear holiday sweaters and antlers and all kinds of things? Listen, if that is your story, I love that for you. And I'm sure that you can find tons of places to do just that. Because the standard is, for the most part, celebrating this time of the year in some way, shape, or form. So there's lots of opportunities to go and do it. And I'm thinking about the folks who may be navigating something different and don't have a need for that kind of additional pressure. So you can make sure you budget your time. You can make sure that you are very transparent about your personal obligations or your needs to opt out of certain things. And there will be difficult conversations that come as a result, because we are really trying to change a behavior in the workplace where the assumption is no assumption, where we avoid assuming that everyone may be excited about this time of year or a celebration or a party or an obligation or a cocktail or a gift, where we remove this idea of assumption and we give everyone a right to be who they are during this time of the year and not to have to put on a tremendous amount of airs. Because once you start to pile on performance reviews, end of the year close, quarter close, and prepping for the new year, and then you throw in a holiday party, a gift exchange, a 45-minute staff meeting to talk about holiday plans, you have now overwhelmed your employees oftentimes, and you've done it without knowing it. And it's because there is this overwhelming kind of pressure and expectation to do something during this time of the year. And I wonder if doing something could look different for you and for your organization. And I'm still talking to the leaders inside of organizations right now. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. I know that people are maybe with me live and thinking, man, I didn't realize it was going to go this direction. But I also think that navigating and giving folks reminders during this time of the year that there are benefits that they may be able to take advantage of if they do need to speak to someone because they are having a hard time at the end of the year. So, whether it's EAP programs or whether it's encouraging folks to take the time that they need to make sure that they recharge their battery. I love a really encouraging, thoughtful storytelling moment from a leader to say, if you need to do something else, I understand. You don't have to share that with me, but I want to encourage you to take good care of yourself. I love a holistic, thoughtful approach to leaders who are very in tune with their people or just in tune with what's happening in the world. And maybe the peak celebration just doesn't hit the way it may have in the past. So if it doesn't hit, or if there are folks inside of your organization and you don't know their need or desire to celebrate the holidays, making space for those people can be a transformative moment in their day to day. It could be transformative that they don't feel an obligation to show up to the holiday event or to wear an ugly sweater. Releasing people from this expectation or these additional burdens, these additional responsibilities. And I'm going to tell you that as someone who is raising children, navigating all of the school and holiday celebrations and teacher events and all the things that go along with it, this time of the year ends up being jam packed, oftentimes with logistics and additional obligations. And maybe, just maybe, we can relinquish some of the need to fit everything in. Now, this is something that I personally have had a hard time with as I run a business. I have a team that I support. I have a partner and a husband that absolutely also has work obligations and organizational things that are happening. And then there's school things, and then there's birthdays and other holidays. There's so many things. And oftentimes it feels like so much of it can be performative, and I don't get to enjoy very much of it. I almost wait for this time of the year to be over so that I can take a breath and enjoy actually participating and doing things by my own choice, not by any obligation for a company or for an organization. And that is a contrary opinion, right? That might be a hot take for a lot of folks, but there are a lot of us out here. There are a lot of us out here who may enjoy the holiday season, but don't enjoy all the obligations that go along with it. So introducing new obligations on top of it, maybe that's a no. Maybe we take our time and we spread out some of the things and some of the obligations so that people have a chance to really refuel. People really have a chance to take good care of themselves so that during the holiday season, people actually feel like they are recharging and they're getting to enjoy a restful, thoughtful, reflective time as they close out their year, not this checklist of where do I need to be? Who do I need to be there with? Did I buy 15 gift cards so that I am ready? Did I buy 75 handwritten notes to send out to every teacher? It starts to even sound crazy as I'm saying it. So I want us to all have a chance to protect our well-being, to be able to make conscious choices about what works for us and what we can do, what we can sustain during this time of year. But I also want to encourage those who are in decision-making roles, who have power, who have influence, who have the ability to say, well, maybe we could do something different this year. Maybe this is the time. I would love to hear any story of an organization or a leader who said, we did it differently this year, and we did it being more generally thoughtful of taking care of people and giving people an opportunity to take care of their well-being during this time of the year. Now, I am a put your money where your mouth is kind of person. I am a Okay, now you hear your words. Let's take some action. And my team and I are going to be out of the office. We will not be going live on December 23rd. We will not be going, or 22nd. We will not be going live on December 29th. We are taking a break. We are opting out of a lot of the day-to-day hustle and bustle as it relates to the holiday. And that's because I think that's what's best for all of us. It's been a big year. It's been an amazing year. We've done some absolutely fantastic, wonderful things. And because we've done so many of those things, we have earned a break. We've earned time to do nothing. So my team and I will be shutting down for the back half of the year. We're really excited about it. I could not be more excited about it. So anything that you see from us on social media or any of the platforms, that is stuff that was pre-programmed. It was already scheduled because we will be taking a hard reset as we plan for all the amazing things that are in 2026. And I understand that that's a privilege. It is an absolute privilege to be able to take that time away during the end of the year. And I feel fortunate to be in a position to do that myself and to offer that opportunity to my team. So I appreciate you guys joining me for this. I also appreciate that you may not agree, and that's okay. You may not feel this way personally, and that's okay. But I know for a fact there are tons of people. There are introverts, there are people who don't celebrate the holiday for personal or faith based reasons. There are people who are navigating hardships, be that financial, be it personal, be it emotional. There are people who are navigating loss of loved ones or navigating the grief of loss of loved ones during this time. We are not a monolith. We as people, we as professionals, we as individuals are individuals. We are not a monolith. So this time of the year can bring on a range of emotions for different people. And I want all of those people to feel safe going to work. I want all of those people to feel like they can do what's in their best interest so that they can be successful in the workplace and that they're not penalized for it, that they're not villainized for it, that they're not told that they are not a team player or signal that they're not a team player because they choose their own well-being over all of the performative holiday celebration activity. So it's just something for you to chew on. I know that there's going to be lots of comments and DMs for this one, and I'm here for it. I think it's a healthy discussion. I think it's something that we need to take an opportunity to center more, knowing that there's a range that people are navigating now, and there's so much that we haven't said, and so much of the labor that goes into these celebrations is tied to the unacknowledged or unpaid labor of women, of parents, of caregivers who are already under a tremendous amount of obligation. So what if we let up? What if we let up? And I'll close with this. Everyone's form of celebration doesn't include alcohol. It doesn't include parties. It may be something that is outside of what your norm is. And use this as an opportunity to learn, to acknowledge your way of celebrating is not the only way of celebrating. Maybe we'll grow from this moment. Maybe we'll be able to treat other people with a level of care and grace and respect that they deserve because you heard it from me and you didn't have to hear it from them. So if you know anyone who may be alternating or celebrating differently, or if you are someone who celebrates differently or is having a hard time during this time of the year, share this live. Share this on YouTube, grab the link and share it. Maybe I am able to say some things that you don't feel quite safe enough to say at this moment. And I am grateful that I can support those who need that support during the time. So if this is helpful for you and you want to make sure someone in your network, someone in your community gets the message, discreetly share the message. What can it hurt? So I appreciate you all being with me here today. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. At the top of the year in January, we are going full-fledged Career and Care Summit. Announcements, updates, sponsors, speakers at the very, very top of the year. So when you guys crack open 2026 and you dust off your computer and you're ready to come back and join us live, the very first live of 2026, when we are with you, we are going to give you All Things Career and Care Summit. So mark your calendar. I think that's Tuesday, January 6th. Now, maybe this is an opportunity for us to reset and tell a new story about what happens on January 6th, 2026. It'll give us an opportunity to reset ourselves. And when we are there, you should have your pen and paper out. And I'm just looking at the calendar over here. Have your pen and paper out or be ready to grab the link, because we're going to go deep into our speakers. We have our headliners. We have our sponsors. You are going to be bathed in Career and Care Summit content beginning at the top of the year. I am telling you now, don't say you didn't know. It's going to be an amazing lineup. It's going to go quick. It's going to be so rich and so thoughtful. This summit is something that I'm so personally connected to, and to be able to come back for year 2 and deliver what I think is an even better experience than we had in year 1. Mark my words, you absolutely should be there. Grab your ticket now. Grab your ticket now. Head over to gemsforthejourney.org to get your tickets, and then join us on Tuesday, January 6th, 2026, so that you can hear all of the lineup and all the exciting things that are coming for this year's Career and Care Summit. Until then, I wish you all the very, very best, and I will see you in 2026. Make your journey work for you.